I want to believe you all can hear me. Hi, Amber. Hi, Precious. Hi, Nora. And many more people that will be joining us. Yes, good to see you all. Thank you for joining us from London, from Belfast. Wow, great. That's good. Thank you so much. Yeah, so we've been started with a topic today, and it's going to be like a very interactive session where we'll be looking at mentors and sponsors, unlocking the relationship that propels your career. So I will just start briefly with, talking about a little bit about myself, and then we'll look at the content we're discussing today. And if you see me looking to another side, I'm just trying to see what your comments are. If you've got questions, you can drop it in the chat, and then we will take it up from there. Yeah, so briefly, a little bit about myself. If you, Danny, yeah, thank you. So I'll just share a little brief about myself and why I'm really passionate about being here today to discuss this very important topic. Yeah, so I'm a woman working in technology. My background is actually engineering. So my first degree is in engineering, computer engineering, and then I've got a dual master's in computer science and big data analytics. My journey into tech wasn't just about gaining qualification. Hi, Asnav. Yeah, thank you. Keep it coming. Hi, Pamela. Thank you for joining from London. Thank you. So, my journey in tech is just from my very passion from childhood, coming up to say, yeah, this is, I've shown interest in tech from when I was a very young girl. And it's all about learning how technology can be used to solve real problems and also improving people's life, particularly the sector I find myself working today, which is something I've actually wanted to be. That's the healthcare sector and also, public services. So having the right mentor and sponsor will be a very key topic to discuss, which has really helped me also in my own career. And over the years, I've worked in a range of tech roles. I've worked as a senior commercial analyst. I've worked as a business data analyst. I've worked as a project manager, a product manager. I've managed teams of engineers working with a Microsoft partner company, and currently I'm working with the NHS. So, alongside my professional roles, I believe in using my voice and my platform to support others, and that is why we are here today, especially women, young girls, and just to focus what is very important to us, especially what can accelerate our careers. So I belong to some volunteering organizations like within my space of work, the NHS. I belong to I'm part of the NHS chair ambassador for the Green Network that's supporting sustainability. I'm also an ambassador for Women in Data Science in UK, and I'm also an AI ambassador within the NHS space. And because of my interest in artificial intelligence and what we've seen the world in, also a global AI delegate for the Global Alliance for Artificial Intelligence in the UK. So none of these started with confidence, most of the things. What really shaped me has been mentoring people, especially within the tech space, especially women. um, I mentor early careers with the British Computer Society and also the Mentoring Club, where I always have that passion, especially for women to scale high, especially for those of us in the tech industry. So I'm sharing this not to impress anyone, but to reassure you that mentorship is key. It has helped me, it's still helping me, it's building me, it's a pathway for good success. And I'm here today to see how mentorship and sponsorship can accelerate your own skills and also your experience. So let's quickly dive into our discussion, and then we will start with the warm up poll question. Let's look at the poll question one. Yeah, so we can just look at the poll. So the question is, which relationship do you currently have more of in your career? So I want us to answer those poll question, and yeah, we can take it up from there. That will really form our discussion for today. So you can put a thumbs up in the comment section so I know people are really engaging with the poll. Okay, thank you, Precious. Thank you, Nora. Thank you. Okay, good. I'm seeing that most people currently today in their workplace, they don't really have a mentor or a sponsor, and even both they don't have. Okay, thank you, Mary. Thank you. All right, good. So let's dive into what we would be talking about today, and then we can now see why this topic is very important to us. Okay, so let's go into the overview. Right. Thank you. So for the overview, we'll be covering today the very important topic, why this conversation matters. And under it, we'll look at the career accelerator. Most people don't talk about mentorship, sponsorship. We'll look at understanding the fundamentals of mentors and sponsors. We'll look at the distinction between the two of them. Then when and how do you need these two relationships in your workplace, in your career? And also we look at the unique impact for Black women in tech, which is very key for us here. We also look at building your network strategically. We look at how to identify the right mentors. A lot of questions people come up to say, I don't even know how to identify a mentor or a sponsor, and also the type of relationship you can initiate. Then we look at how you can sustain those relationships, how you can make it work, how you can ask questions if you had, talking to your mentor or your sponsor. And also we'll look at the action that you need to take, because I want to believe after this conversation, we would put everything we're going to learn here to work, and it will actually work for you. It has worked for me. It's still working for me, so it will work for you. Okay. So let's go to the next slide to talk about why this conversation matters. So I made mention of a particular phrase. I said, the career accelerator, most people don't talk about. So most people in the workplace, they don't talk about it. So let's start with the hard truth. Talent alone is not enough for you. So as a career woman, either you are in tech, you are in healthcare, you are in finance, you are in banking, you are in education, whichever career you are, most of the things people would often tell you is that if you work hard, if you build your skills, if you get this particular certification, if you deliver excellent results in your workplace, you will naturally rise. That's what people will tell you. But I want to tell you today that excellence alone does not guarantee your advancement, especially in workplace. Whether you are very good with the skills of maybe coding, you are a very good data analyst, you are a very good project manager, you deliver excellent results. Before they say something, you've already done it. And then you are very good at what you do. Trust me, it will not naturally make you to advance. You would get to some spaces, but you might not get to most spaces that you're supposed to be. So you can be very technically competent as an engineer in your team. You might be a reliable data analyst. You might be helping them to solve the most complex problem, but someone can still overlook you when the time for promotion comes. And then you keep asking yourself why. Because promotions and opportunities don't only go to the most talented person. If you sit back and look at where you work, and you see some persons within your team that you do excellently well more than them, and then when it's time for promotion, you find out that their names are mentioned, and then you begin to ask yourself, why is my name not mentioned? And one of the things is they go to the most visible and advocated person in the team. So trust me, while you are at work, in your team, people are looking at you, people are speaking about you in places you might not be able to stand. And so when they mention your name, what comes up? Or when there is this particular board meeting and people are talking, maybe your manager is talking, your CEO is talking, um, at any point in time, do you think your name can be mentioned? So let's look at an example. For example, imagine two developers. Maybe we have developer A who codes in Python and or React, and this developer, consistently produces excellent work, but keeps his or her head down that, oh, let me just do the work. They've given me the task. Let me just do it. And then he does his work excellently. And then we have another developer who is developer B, the same, codes using maybe React, Python, and this person produces a solid work, but regularly presents updates in meetings, where senior leaders are present. So take, for instance, you have a team meeting and then both of you are, doing the same task. And it comes to you and you are told to, oh, can you give us an update on the work you're doing? Just because you want to stay humble, let me put it like that, or you want to show that, oh, you're very humble, or you want to allow developer here, oh, let developer here, give the update. And that's the pattern, that's the progress. Trust me, nobody is going to mention your name when it comes to maybe anything promotion or anything that has to do with advancement within the company. Why? Because you are very good at what you do, but you always keep your head down. So you want to term that as being, is it humble? Or you want to term that as being, is a teamwork. So far, developer B is giving the updates. They should assume that we are all doing it together. Trust me, it doesn't work like that. I was once in that shoe before, like in my early years of working. I always want to believe that, oh, it's a teamwork, someone can just speak up and talk. But I remember when there was something like a promotion within my team and they were to nominate someone, so we had a tie. And one of the key thing our manager mentioned was, oh, you're very good at, both of you are very good, but we think that he speaks more louder and is very confident in what he does. And this is a report that most of the time I do the report, but because in meetings I just decided to keep quiet. I just decided to stay on my own, let the results speak for itself. you know that is what, if we look back, that is what most of us we do. So today I want you to change that mindset. You understand? So when a leadership opportunity opens, who comes to the top of the mind of your leaders at work? So it is not always about your skill, it is about visibility. You need to push yourself out there, you need to be visible. So for us Black women in tech, especially, we are often taught to let our work speak for us. People would tell me like, oh, just be humble, stay humble. But let me tell you, work doesn't speak, people do. So your work will not speak alone. People would actually speak for you. So that is, your talent alone is not enough. So I want you to take that at a very key important point. The second one is the visibility and advocacy, which I call it opportunity. And this is a formula. When you are visible, that means leaders knows your name, just like the example I mentioned. Decision makers understand your impact at work, that when you are not there, they know something is missing. And then your contribution are seen beyond your immediate team. So they know you contribute even apart from, it's not only your team, outside your team, you learn your helping hand, collaboration, you are very good at that. That's visibility. So people are seeing you even beyond your team. And then we have advocacy, which means someone with influence says your name in rooms you are not in. And that is what I'm mentioning. Someone says, oh, she's ready, she can lead the team, um she's very good at what she does. Someone can say, oh, let me put credibility to the online for you because I'm very sure that you can handle this. So you can be visible without advocacy. That is, even if you are visible, nobody is speaking for you and you still stall. Or you can have advocacy without visibility. That is, people are talking about you, but nobody's seeing anything you're doing. There is no impact. And that is when acceleration happens. So let me use an example. For example, a senior director is discussing maybe candidate for a stretch assignment, and then one of the team leaders or the team manager is saying, "Oh, I've seen her present twice. She handles tough questions during meetings. You know, she's very good at what she does." And then someone else is saying that I've worked closely with her. She had led the last project under budget, and mentioning like maybe two junior engineers that she had mentored, or oh, she's very good at supporting collaboration. And that second statement, that is what we call advocacy. That is, someone is speaking for you while you are not there. They are speaking about your work. They are speaking about who you are. So that is when sponsorship come into action. You know, you are not there, but someone is speaking for you. So if you look at many professionals today, we're still looking at why this conversation matters, because many professionals today, you know, they have mentors, right? Which is very expected for you as a professional person, or you're working within the tech team. So, or different careers that you find yourself. So, a little bit of definition, because we'll actually discuss more about mentor. So a mentor is an experienced individual who provide advice, feedback, and support to help you navigate your career. So three things: they provide advice, they give you feedback, and then they give you support to navigate your career. So most times you see it very common, mentorship at work, and it is very comfortable for you to have one because it will help your career. So most of us, we have someone, maybe you have a concern at work, maybe you are tied up with a particular task and you don't know how to do. So you quickly meet up to someone and say, "Oh, can you give me an advice? Can you help me with this?" So that is mentorship, but you are not defining it, because you have someone you look up to. So they give you advice, they review your CV, they help you prepare for interview, they talk you through workplace challenges. You know, they are very, very valuable, and that is what a mentor do. So most importantly, they help you grow, because once you have someone who mentors you, who you look up to, one of the key things that you need to have at the back of your mind is growth. You want to grow. So it most of the time it happens privately, not that maybe you are in a team meeting and then someone is, "Oh, do it this way, do it this way." So most of the time it's a one-on-one conversation, because it's more of guidance, it's more of development, and it's more of skill building. So I want to employ us today as Black women in tech, that we can have mentors, and it is very good for you to have a mentor. And then you can also have multiple mentors. Take, for instance, you know, you want to continually learn, you know, you want to continually improve yourself, and you want to prepare. So you can have multiple mentors. You can have this person in terms of when it comes to work. You can have this person when it comes to maybe navigating challenges in life. This person can be your mentor. If you're married, you can have a mentor maybe for family life, relationship. So one of the key things is you're trying to learn from them, right? Because preparation alone will not move you into being a leadership. So you need someone to guide you. And if we look at it, most people that have mentors, they only have few sponsors. They have few sponsors because they are not really seeing that clear distinction between the two. So and one thing a sponsor will do for you is to recommend you for promotion, just like we mentioned in those examples. They will connect you to your senior stakeholders. They will be able to defend you when your name comes up. You know, a sponsor will say, "Yes, I can, you know, put my credibility in line for this person." And then they position you for high visibility project. "Oh, yes, we know Mary can do it. We know Blessing can do it. We know this person can do it." So they call your name where you are not there, where you are not visible. And that is what a sponsor does for you. Now, let's look at who is a mentor. Okay. And then we would navigate around the fundamentals of mentors, and we would be able to go through some checks where we can bring those words back to ourselves, to ask ourselves questions, actually what we are practicing. So if you have questions, please drop it in the chat. I will take those questions so that we don't just able to address a lot of things. I know a lot of things are going on in our minds, and yes, we would actually address those questions. So who is a mentor? So by way of definition, a mentor is an experienced individual who provides you, just like I've mentioned earlier before, advice, feedback, and support to help you navigate your career. So they are very, very important in your career progress, in your career acceleration. And then they are in your corner. Most of us are not just seeing them, most of us are just shying away from them. And then because their primary focus is your learning and professional evolution, that is if you have a mentor at work. I mentioned that you can have different mentors, and depending on which area you actually need support and then acceleration. Okay, so have it at the back of your mind that a mentor is developmental, so they need to develop you. So let's look at their role quickly. Number one, they offer guidance and advice. So a mentor will help you think through decisions. They don't decide for you, but they would help you fix everything, and then they will provide you from their wealth of experience on the perspective for you to go through. So for example, let's look at maybe you are deciding whether to move from maybe engineering role into product management, or you're coming from agriculture into tech, or you are trying to navigate into the world of artificial intelligence. And then a mentor might just say, oh, what part of your current role energizes you, like during your one-on-one discussion, or asking you that what skills would you need to strengthen yourself before making this move, maybe from engineering to pure tech, or from agriculture to tech, or to business analysis, or to data analysis. Or they can ask you that what are the things that you think that you need to learn before you can transition. So a mentor is seeking to ask you very crucial questions that can help you to build up yourself. So they guide your thinking, and they help you to evaluate the options. Mind you, they are not forcing you to take those options, but they will let you see clarity of purpose, and that is what a mentor does. So for us Black women in tech, their guidance can be especially very important when navigating environmental roles, different roles, especially during maybe in your workplace, looking at your environment where you work, where people are not seeing you, or where you think that, oh, people are not seeing what you are doing, and you have more to commit yourself to. So, having a career mentor will really help you, because they understand the terrain, they have that experience, and they can help you to guide you along that right path. So they share their experience, and then they will help you to shorten your learning curve. Instead of you to go a very long way, a mentor will shorten that curve for you, and then they will tell you that, oh, do you know what? I've made this mistake. I don't want you to make it. I wish I could have learned this earlier, but since you are my mentee, I think if you do it this way, this and this would be the result. So you can see a mentor trying to stimulate you, trying to guide you, trying to let you understand the situation, and perceiving like if you go through this option, these are the best way for you. So, that is what a mentor will do. And then in workplaces, like for example, I have a mentor at work. In my workplace, I have a mentor who most of the time when I go in for maybe project delivery, I need to talk about a project, and then when I'm done, I just have a one-on-one discussion with my mentor to say, I've got this discussion with these stakeholders, and then I'm trying to navigate how I need to, be able to convince the stakeholder. What do you think? This is my plan. This is what I plan to do. And then my mentor comes to say, oh, yes, this particular stakeholder, can you do this? Can you do this? And it helps me. Going for that meeting, I come out very, very happy, because I'm able to navigate those issues and challenges before even attending the meeting. So your mentor will help you to handle some questions brilliantly. if they are in your team, or maybe in your project team, or they are in your area of discussion, they would even support you while you are, making some conversations, where you need to do some things. They would support you. And at the end, we mentioned that mentors give feedback. They will tell you, oh, next time, when you are talking to this particular stakeholder, you need to pause, after this key point, because you need to be able to get feedback from them. You need to be able to, think into this area. You need to address this well. So they will help you to refine your communication, and then they build your confidence and your decision making. So those are what your mentors does. And sometimes when they see that you've been doing very well, they can tell you that, oh, it's time for you to, apply for the next position. It's time for you to review your CV. It's time for you to maybe coach you before a big presentation among the sponsors or among the senior leadership of the team. So, a mentor does a lot of things, and then they are very, very important in our career journey. So if you are aiming to be someone in your career, or you are aiming for that big role, you need to have a mentor. And then we looked at the fact that they focus more on your development, and that is what a mentor does. They focus more on your development. They are investing their own experience, their own competence, their own confidence in you. And that is why I mentioned something earlier, that mentorship often happens in private. That is a one-on-one conversation, because you need to be able to get that feedback. Sometimes they want to see you, they want to look into your face to see how you are absorbing all those conversations, and also you can also share your feedback, and they can also pick it up from there. So mentor is advice and insight. Okay, they help you become ready. Even when you think you are ready, someone needs to guide you through that you are ready. And in this part of the world we have, for us women, we know we are already at a competition where we have most of these technical roles, most of these tech roles, having to be seated at the point of where men are. So you need to be able to get someone to advocate for you, someone to speak for you, someone to call your names where you are not, and then someone to say, yes, we are very confident in this person. So, and that is what a mentor does. So let's look at who is a sponsor. So I'm trying to see questions from the chat. Yeah, so Adesua is asking, so would a sponsor be someone who is within the workplace, while a mentor is someone that can be within another? Yes, please. Yeah, I've mentioned that you can have you can have both within your workplace, and then you can have both outside of your workplace, depending on your line or which career path you are. So most importantly, I always advise people to have a mentor in their workplace, even if you are going to have someone else outside of your workplace. But it's very good. And then I will tell you how I was able to get mentors within my workplace, and they advocate a lot for me, and how my mentor introduced me. And then I have people, let me say, I have sponsors, because when I'm not there, I know that, oh, my name is being called for some specific task or specific roles. So you can have both within your workplace, which is actually very good. And we'll see how that is done. So who is a sponsor? So we talked about a sponsor is a senior leader with the influence and social capital. So they have that influence, they have that strategy, they have that advocacy to advocate for you in high stakes environments, where you are not present. Most of the time we are not present. You don't even know who is mentioning your name. You don't even know what discussion they are doing. So they are very rare. That's one thing about sponsorship, because for someone to be calling your name where you are not, and the person is putting credibility online to say, yes, this is the person that we want, or this is the person we're advocating for, because most of the time they are very powerful. That means you've done something to, show you out there, to put you out there. You've done something that something is, is just like a light that cannot be dimmed. So they are very different from a mentor. That's one thing about sponsors. They talk about you in powerful rooms. So take for instance, someone is talking about you with the senior leadership of your organization where you are not there. They're not even mentioning your, they are not consulting with your line manager, but they are mentioning your name straight away to say, yes, we know this person, she's fit for this role, she's fit for this project, let her go and represent the organization because of what they've seen. And what they've seen comes from the attribute of what your mentor has deposited inside of you. Okay, so they are very different, and then they change a lot of things. So your sponsor speaks your name when decisions are being made. Okay. Thank you. I'm going to answer that question. Your sponsor speaks your name when decisions are being made, and then um in terms of maybe promotions, discussion, leadership assignments, what else again? High visibility projects. That is where you see them, discussing about you, because we have a lot of things at stake. You have a lot of people that are also competing for that role, competing for that assignment, competing for that visibility. So I'm going to answer your question. How or what ways have you used to identify the right mentor? Yes, I'm going to answer that question very soon. So what a sponsor will say is, oh, I recommend her. She had led the last maybe migration project successfully, or oh, she's ready for this scale. We've seen what she's done. That is advocacy. That means your sponsor is advocating for you, even when you don't know that something like that is happening. But it is a career defining process for you, because one of the key things they do is they recommend you for promotion. They won't just say you are talented. They will give instances with data to back it up, to say, yes, this person is actually fit for this promotion, that you are ready. And then that is a difference between someone say, oh, let's present this person's name because she's the next in line. No, your sponsor is going to stand up in those rooms and say, yes, I'm recommending person A or developer A because I've seen her led the migration project. She had delivered so amount of XYZ budget. She had helped the organization to scale these heights. She had done this, she had done that. So they have figures to back it up. And that is what leadership team always want to see. They are looking at your performance review. They're asking your managers that, oh, can you tell us more about this person? Because we've seen one, two, three or things. Or maybe in project meetings where I mentioned earlier that you don't stay humble, especially when you are in a team. So that is not humility. You need to put yourself out there. So you are performing and nobody is seeing that you are doing the work. You are the one doing the report to be presented to stakeholders. But during the report, when they ask who wants to present the report, you are laying back because maybe you are shy or you are not confident of yourself, or you just want to push it to someone within the team to say, oh, you know what, go and do, I've done the reporting, I've documented everything, I've done the slides, but you have not done anything. Go and present it during the stakeholder meeting. Now, the stakeholders don't know that you are the one that wrote the slides. They don't know that you are the one that developed the report. So you need to be able to put yourself out there. And then finding the right mentor in your workplace is very key. And I'm going to show you how to find the right mentor. So in nutshell, we are trying to say that you need to be able to have the right mentor at work, a good know your sponsors, propel yourself to be able to, to show yourself out there for your sponsors or for someone to be able to spot you out and say, yes, we're advocating for this person. And then making yourself very visible, because one of the key things a sponsor does is the sponsor spend they call the word, is it political capital for you? So they like defend you if your readiness is questioned because they've seen things that you can do. They ensure that your achievement is recognized, even while you are doing some voluntary work within your organization. Then they push back against any biases. So when someone is saying something that is contrary to what you can do, they are able to push back because they've seen what you can do. And then they have, is it testimonies about your work? They have feedback. They have very good points about what you've done. So they help you to put your name forward repeatedly, almost all the time. And that's why you wonder, some of us, if we think back to see, maybe when we're doing a project meeting at work or we're giving a feedback, you see some names being mentioned all the time. Oh, I remember maybe your manager is giving a presentation, he's mentioning a particular set of names. Now those names are coming to the ears of the leadership, because when there are opportunities, they mention that, they call for them immediately. So your sponsor is your advocacy plus your access to be able to accelerate a very good and critical career progression. Now, let me answer that question. So, the distinction between your mentors and your sponsor. Now, I mentioned that there is a very clear distinction between the two of them. Your mentor will help you to build your skill to sit at the table. We talk about different skills, your communication skills, your confidence skills, how you work, how you collaborate. But your sponsor will pull out the chair and says, no, this person belongs here. You belong here. So both of them are very powerful, but they serve different purposes. And we'll look at their purpose. We've mentioned a little bit of what their purpose are, and then we'll critically look at how their purpose will help you. That is how it will focus on your advancement. Okay. So if we say mentors, they focus on your personal and professional development. So they help you build your skills, your confidence, and then they navigate you in your workplace challenges. But your sponsor will focus on your career advancement. They are concerned about getting you promoted. They are securing high visibility project for you, and they are moving you up the leadership ladder. And that is what your sponsor will do for you based on what your mentor has deposited inside of you. So they give you visibility, and then they give you an action to propel you for the public to see. Most of the time they invest in you, because once they are mentioning your name in high places, what are they doing? They are actually investing in you. So the relationship between the two of them is, for your mentorship, it is very informal, it is very organic, and it's a long-term one based on what you want, and they focused on your holistic growth. But your sponsorship is more of transactional, because it's a win-win. What do you want to offer us? What are you doing based on what they've seen? And then most of the time it's a shorter term if it is within your career workspace, and then it is result driven. So someone is mentioning your name, advocating for your name, there should be a result for that. So, and most times when you need this relationship is when you are tired of where you are, except if you are not tired of where you are. So they help you to improve your skills. We've mentioned that, not because you're not capable, but because no one is advocating for you. So they help you as mentors to improve your skills so that someone can be able to advocate for you. So they help you to bridge that gap between your readiness and your recognition. So if in your workplace you see how things are being done, and then you look at yourself that you actually have more, please look for a mentor within your workplace. And then I will give you strategy of how you can get a mentor in the next slide. So can we go to the next slide? Let me look at the question. For me, it is clear the difference. And this was not being by I'm looking for how to even again. Okay, Evelyn. Yeah, I will show you. So how to get how to get sponsors and mentors within workplace. So there are different workplaces, and then boys, for me, I would say it's still the same strategy, it's still the same ways of, I don't want to use the word bidding now. So it's still the same strategy to get a mentor and for you to get someone to advocate for you, which we'll call a sponsor. So I would show you how these two work, and then we look at the unique impact of these two for us Black women in tech, because most of the time we're giving advice instead of access. Someone will just advise you, but they're not giving you access. We are told, oh, this is how to improve, instead of being positioning you to lead people. Just improve yourself. You can do more of collaboration, or maybe your manager is saying you are doing a great work, keep building your skills. But what your sponsor will tell you is, oh, she's ready now, we recommend her for the leadership opportunity. But your manager is telling you, oh, you're doing a very great work, continue building your skills, but your skills are ready, right? But you just need someone to advocate for you. So the difference is, one will develop you, that is maybe your line manager or the person you're reporting to. But for your sponsor is going to elevate you, is going to your mentor is going to develop you. So our career advancement, especially for us Black women, is very, very key. So let's look at building your network strategically, how to identify the right mentor. So it is a path that I've worked and I'm still working. And one of the things is that you don't just want someone successful. You want someone that is successful in a direction you want to go. Identifying a mentor, you are looking at someone that is successful, but this is the direction you want to go. So for example, let's take maybe you want to move into technical leadership, and your ideal mentor is not just any senior professional. You can't just say, oh, you just want to look for maybe an HR professional at work, or your HR director, whereas your line of work is more of technical. So you won't go and look for a mentor in that line. So it's someone that you want to transition to. You want this person to be an individual contributor to your technical leadership, or to being an engineer leader in your workplace, or wherever your career is. So you are looking at a manager or someone at the top of your career within your workplace, who understands the skill, how these skills can shift you to the required position. Also politics involved. Yes, I will tell you for free, there are politics in workplaces. And then how to identify how, so not that you're playing politics, but your sponsor are advocating for you in meetings or in boardrooms that you are not. Some persons will tell me that's been political, because you have like 2, 3 or 4 sponsors in those meetings, and they have different persons they're advocating for. But you need to be able to show yourself more distinct for your name to be reckoned with. So for us Black women in tech, representation matters here. So seeing someone who has navigated those biases, those isolation, those ladder, you want to be able to identify with that person, and that is who you are looking at for. So let's look at aligning with your growth areas. That is, your mentor should stretch you in areas you need development. That's your skill. Your mentor should be able to tell you that this is what you are doing well, give you that feedback, a very constructive feedback. That is what a real mentor will do. They will challenge you, and then they will give you more aspect for you to grow, which will not come with comfort. So if you are looking for comfort, you don't need a mentor, because your mentor should be able to challenge you and correct you. Okay. Now, let's look at your ambition, which is very critical. Your mentor should be able to respect your ambition. Very, very critical. So especially for us, Black women in tech, when you have an ambition, which is sometimes perceived as being maybe, oh, we are doing too much, So, yeah, have you come across the fact that maybe in your work someone is asking, oh, you show yourself out there too much, you're doing too much? Your mentor should be able to tell you, never, no, you're not doing too much. Your mentor will be able to tell you, we will not be able to downplay your leadership aspiration, because they see what you are capable of, they see what your skills are. They will suggest to you do you know what, wait, let's apply this strategy, let's apply this method, and then let's see the result out of it. So they encourage you to propel your voice, not to shrink your voice. If someone is shrinking your voice, that is not a mentor. That's not even a good mentor. So those are the key things that we need to look for. And then when we look at the red flags, when you are talking with your mentor and this person is always dismissing your goals, maybe they're saying, oh, you are doing too much, not helping you to plan, trying to limit you, those are red flags. you need to look for another mentor. Or if every session is always about career talk without any depth or challenge, without any data to back it up, then you are not growing. Or if they dominate the conversation to say they are telling you about their own stories alone, they are not focusing on you because you are the mentee, they are not trying to give you that development goal, then that is more of, I'll call it like an ego. It is not even a guidance. So those are the red flags you need to watch when someone is dismissing your goals, when the conversation is all about yes, what are the things that you want to is at surface level, or they are making the conversation about themselves alone. Okay, so when you're looking for sponsors, so that's how we've talked about how to identify the right mentor, that is someone working within your skill set, and then someone that you are looking up to that yes, this is the area I'm trying to navigate at, and then you look at the red flag. So identifying your sponsors, their strategy to that. So because they are, most of the time, they are not chosen based on your comfort, and they are not chosen based on influence, that oh, this person has influence, this person is the managing director in my workplace. No. So having influence over promotions or projects are one of the key things. So like, okay, look beyond this person is your direct manager. You want to ask question, or maybe from your mentor, that oh, in this team, who signs off on promotion, who approves high impact initiatives, or projects, who assigns strategic work, is it the vice president of the organization, or who is more into when it comes to promotion, or when it comes to training, so some strategic training, and then your mentor tells you, oh, this person, this person, this person, and then you start ensuring that most times when you come in contact with such a person, you are being very, very careful in ensuring that you are visible. Now, when I mention visibility, that means when you have the opportunity to be in contact with such a person, or you are in meeting rooms with such people like that, that you've been able to identify what their high impact are at work, you are able to show yourself out there. You are able to put yourself out there. You are able to not stay humble, but you're able to make your work define who you are. So, because most times these are people that will advocate for you because they've seen what you can do. They've seen your skills, and then they've seen how you are able to undo different things that can move the organization forward. And then you don't want to keep quiet about it. So they are respected decision makers in your workplace. Their influence is not about that title alone. No, they are people that they have big titles, but they don't have any influence in the workplace. And whereas we have people that they can shape every other room they enter, because when they speak, others listen to them. When they recommend, their recommendation carries weight. So those are the people you want to actually identify, and they are really in our workplaces. So if you take your time back to check your workplace and see the type of people that you have in your workplace, you would be able to identify sponsors, not mentors. And then you'll be able to work accordingly and strategically to be able to put yourself out there. Now, visibility. Now, looking at visibility, which is very, very key, means that you can put yourself on the executive panels, that you can bring into strategic discussions, a lot of important conversations that can help the organization, that someone can mention your name in a succession plan. Some of us, if we look at where we work, and then they're trying to maybe raise the next set of leaders, nobody is able to mention your name because they can't attain to what you are doing or what you are contributing. It's not only all about your team's project or your team's work alone. Even outside of your team, someone in another team is mentioning you because you are very collaborative, you are very supportive. They see what you go far and beyond what you do within your team. So these are the type of people that they get really recognized by sponsors within workplaces, right? And then looking at initiating a relationship authentically, I would say number one, start with curiosity. Okay. Now, what does curiosity does? Don't begin with can you promote me, or when with my promotions, maybe you are talking with your mentor and you're asking your mentor, when will I have a promotion? What do you think I can do? So those type of conversations are good with your mentor. But when it now gets to a point whereby the conversations are real, they are very tangible. You want to start with, oh, you are curious about how you want to transition from maybe product manager or a product owner to maybe a solution architect, or from engineering to leadership. Or you feel that at this point you have done this, you have done XYZ things, you'll be able to help the organization to attain a good return on investment, and you are thinking of your next thing, your next thing, the next attribute or the next ideas you can bring to the organization. And someone, oh, I'm thinking that maybe you can apply for this role, or I'm thinking that maybe the next project can be a very good win for you. You understand? So you are very curious and you are not requesting. And then again, you ask thoughtful questions like, how did you succeed? Maybe when you're talking with your mentor, you want to ask your mentor, how do you succeed in this position when you were there? What were the skills that you build yourself on? So those are the conversations you want to have when you are initiating relationship with them. And then they will give you some tips and some actions. You need to follow up with those actions. A mentor will not like you when they give you questions, or they give you tasks to do, and then you are not doing it. Oh, you are swamped with work, you are not ready for this, or you have a lot of things to do. They won't. It draws them back, because they will just feel like you are not ready. Okay, and then another thing is for you to show consistency. So consistency is all about having maybe a timeline to say, we will be meeting every 2 weeks, we'll be meeting every one month, and then this is how I want, this is in the next 6 months, these are the things I want to achieve, and then I would like you to help me with that. An example, I'm going to take your question, Mary. An example is, I have a mentor at work, based on what I do, and then I feel like I've done like so many things, and I needed to just move to the next line of position, or a next line of tasks for me to do. I told my mentor, in the next 3 months, this is what I want to achieve. Can you guide me through around this? And she was just like, oh yes, can you do me like a page of what you want to achieve, how you want to achieve it, and we'll have that discussion. And so we start picking those discussions one by one, the areas where I need to improve myself, the areas where I need to do some things. When I was looking at maybe, writing some certifications that would, propel me for this. Oh, she was like, no, you don't need it. You've done this project, you've done this, you've had this experience, put it into play. When we are doing some maybe reviews at work, or maybe end of the year reviews, these are things, because they will ask you. That's why I mentioned that depending on your workplace. So some workplaces will ask you that you should do a review of your 365 days at work, and then they want to see the progress of what you have done. And that is where most of us, is very good for us to document things down. So if you have not started documenting your progress at work, please start doing that, because it will help you. Okay. Let me take a question. Mary says, how can I approach a potential sponsor without seeming opportunistic or like I'm asking for a favor? Yes. So that question, very good. So most of the time, I mentioned that it's very good for you to have a mentor. Now, there is a connection between your mentor and your sponsor. And one of the key connection is they speak together when you are not even there. And why I'm saying this is, most mentors are people that you want to walk their line, you want to walk their career path, while sponsors are people that advocate for you, and then they propel you to your next career line, they prepare you for promotion, for leadership. So most times, the conversation you have with your mentor speaks while you're not there, and your mentor is there with your sponsor. So you might not be able to identify, you might not be able to pinpoint this person is your own sponsor, but indirectly this is your sponsor, because most times when you're not there, this person advocate for you. And how do they advocate for you? Most of the things they've seen in your mentors, or most of the things that your mentors has been able to put you through, speaks louder where you are not there. So I'll cite an example. You have a mentor who has been mentoring you in your workplace, doing fantastically well, and then the person is part of the senior leadership, and during this senior leadership team meeting, your mentor mentions your name or talks about you, and not once, not twice, someone is interested in your name, picks up your name, and do a little bit dig up, because that's one thing a sponsor does. They do a little bit of dig up to see who is this person, what has this person done. But when you don't have someone that can position you rightly, and that is why some people say, is it politics at work or something, that can position you correctly at work, then you have a lot of things to battle with. So you don't need to be talking as if you are looking for opportunity or you are asking for a favor. Your mentor will guide you through the right channel, through the right path, through the right communication link on how to navigate those ends. You don't even need to do anything. And before you know it, someone is just going to send you an email to say, oh, I got a recommendation of your name from X, Y, and Z, just asking if you are happy, to do this, or if you're happy for us to send you this invite, or if you're happy to represent the organization based on, and then you'll be asking yourself, how did this person knows me? They know you by what? By those things that your mentors have injected inside of you and you have displayed even when you think nobody is seeing you. Okay? So let's go to the reflection question. I mentioned that instead of asking who likes me, ask who has the power. And those conversations are with your mentor, because you get to a point whereby it's an heart-to-heart conversation. You understand? You're able to pour your mind to your mentor. Your mentor is able to guide you because they don't want you to walk the wrong path. And then you're asking, how can I demonstrate excellence in spaces they can see? Then your mentor will tell you, oh, this is the right way. You might think the way you're doing it is the right way, but your mentor is going to mentor you the right way because they've navigated those paths. And that's why I mentioned that they are the people you are looking up to. You want to be like them. Okay? Let's go to the next slide. We're almost rounding up. And then I want us to quickly take this interactive poll question. We can drop the answers in the chat. When seeking career growth, what feels hardest? Asking for help, finding access to decision makers, speaking up about my ambition, maintaining relationship consistently. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so wow, maintaining relationship consistently. Yeah, thank you. So this is we will form our line of discussion. Okay, thank you. Wow. Asking for help. So some people, oh yeah, I mentioned about humility. So some people say, oh, I want to be humble, I don't want to speak too much. I don't want people to see me. So far my team members know me. No, your team member will not speak for you. They are not your sponsors. They are not your advocacy. Finding access to decision makers. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, maintaining relationship consistently. Yes. A lot of people feel that is one of the hardest things, how to maintain relationship consistently. Yes, even if you have a best friend, how to maintain that relationship, and you want that relationship to still continue to work. Speaking up about my ambition. Oh. Okay, yeah, let's go to the next slide. We will just use this to discuss our next slide. So we'll look at making those relationships work. You understand? Speaking about your ambition, if you feel like, oh, it's too hard. In summary of the poll question, one thing that stands distinct for me in what I've seen that most of us have taken, let me talk about the speaking about your ambition. Please, for as many that are watching and listening, get yourself a mentor in your career. You need a mentor. Now, I mentioned that it is not specifically to your organization alone. You can get a mentor outside your workplace, but most times I would advise you get a mentor in your workplace. Now, because you don't want to be in a particular position forever. You want to be able to scale through, you want to be able to move up the ladder, and that is why you need a mentor. And most of the time, getting a mentor, it's very, very easy. I will tell you how to get one very quickly and very easy. because in time of discussion, when you want to recognize that this person is a mentor, I said it earlier that this is someone that you are looking up to, someone that you want to walk their path, and then you want to learn from their mistakes and move forward. Now, a simple email, a simple text message, or a simple email, if it is within your workplace, to send a message to someone to say, hello, you've seen what they do. And most times, let me talk within a team. When you are within a team and you see someone within your team that you admire, the person is maybe your line manager, this person works more than you, or if you do cross-functional team project, and then you see what this person is doing and you really love what this person is doing and you want to be in that space also, nothing stops you from admiring their work. You know what happens to most of us while we're at work? We don't learn to appreciate little things. And trust me, in this part of the country, in this part of the world, especially for us women, it's always good to appreciate people. When you appreciate people, appreciate their work, they tend to naturally confine and work and love your person. Because a simple maybe Teams thumbs up on your team's chat, or a simple email to say, do you know what, the presentation you did today was very, very great, very good. I would love to know more. If you don't mind, can I have a one-to-one? When is a very good time for me to speak to you, just to know more about what you've discussed? Or you can come up to say, oh, I'm very interested in this particular discussion you had during the project meeting or during the presentation that is not even your work. Oh, you are very, very happy with it, and you are showing more interest to learn about it. When is a good time for me to reach out to you? Just a 10 minutes conversation, and then you would plan on what to discuss, which I would tell you now how to discuss. So number one, you need to be able to structure your conversation when you want to speak to them. The framework is win, to challenge, to insight needed, and then the action plan. So let's be honest. Many mentors meetings would fail because the mentor is not good, but because we show up unprepared. No, it is just because you show up not prepared. It's not that your mentor is not good, but you did not prepare well. Now, if you say, so what should we be, you send a meeting invite, or you've asked for this person, you've appreciated their work, and then you needed to have a conversation with them because you are proposing for them to be your mentor. You've not told them, but the first conversation is you've been appreciating what they are doing, you love what they are doing, and the first conversation you want to say, they've scheduled a meeting with you, and in the meeting, your supposed mentor is now asking you, so what should we talk about today? That means you're not prepared. You're already wasting an opportunity. I remember my very first conversation with my mentor, and this is how I got mentor at work. I most of the time I always appreciate people's work, and it has really me, even within my, when I see, when we're doing a Teams meeting and someone brings out an idea, I will go back again to chat the person on Teams to say, oh, I love this idea. Can you share more light on this? Or maybe we're in a, so depending on your work, my own work is within the project team. So I can always talk to people and reach out to them, even outside my team. And then one of the days I was working on a particular task, and someone just mentioned that, yeah, we're looking for someone that can handle this task, and maybe we would send a mail to another team to ask if they have maybe X, Y, and Z person that can handle it. I can handle it, but because I've not really shown myself out there, in fact, that was what brought that intentionality that I need to have a mentor. I can handle it, not that I can just say it immediately that, oh, I can do it or something. Someone needed to speak for me because it's a very high stake project. So my mentor, I just normally send those messages. And one day I asked, oh, is it a good time for me to speak to you? Just 10 minutes. I've already drafted my agenda. And then she had already given me, oh, yes, we can do 15 minutes. So I've drafted my agenda. I've sent a short note before the meeting to say I want to discuss, so and so things for you with you. And more of it is discussing transitioning into more strategic work, because I needed to do some more work, which for me to gain more experience. And then I would love her feedback based on what she discussed in the last meeting. So it was very, very good for me. And On that day, we scheduled the meeting and the conversation started. The first thing she asked me, "Oh, can you tell me about yourself?" And then you want to talk about yourself. You don't want to start mentioning different stories, how you went from one school to the other, you navigated this role. You just want to make it very briefly. Talk about yourself in a very brief way, just to show yourself, who you are, your impact, and then what you love most. And those are the things that they're looking. Oh, she was very happy. Oh, this is what you do. This is your impact within the organization. These are the skills that you have. And then attaching those skills to what they've seen. Oh, I've seen these skills. I really love it because I've also seen you display 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things, especially during our meetings and all that. And she was really happy. And then she started talking about herself, how she moved from A to B to C to D. And then I told myself, yes, this is my mentor, because I've been showing interest in what she does and who she is and all that. And we had like 2 other more conversation again within the space of 2 months. And the third time, I just sent her a email that, do you know what? I would love you to be my mentor if you don't mind, to be my career guidance within our workplace, blah, 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 and all those things. And she was so glad. She picked it up. And that was how I got her as a mentor. And trust me, where she had mentioned my name in workplace, I can't even imagine mentioning in different places. Even times that I might not be able to do some things, she would come back to me to say, "Oh, I know you might not be able to do this, but let me show you how to do it. And then if you know you don't have the time, then I can always check back later. But I know you can do it." Imagine your mentor believing in what you can do because they've seen it in you. So have a clear agenda, specific challenges you are going through, and then always update them on your progress. So there is nothing I do, I update her. If I'm working on any new project, I update her. Even if it is not something she knows, sometimes she finds out to see who are the stakeholders, who are the people that I need to, be very, very very, very particular about in the meeting, to negotiate, to do a lot of things. So she had really been a source of guide for me, and it's very helpful. Okay. And then during your conversation, you want to ask for feedback. You want to ask them for feedback. You want to ask them for opportunities. And then you want to ask them for endorsements. So there are times that, in your workplace, maybe they are doing an award nomination, and then you can tell your mentor that you are interested in this award. Even your mentor will tell you, "Oh, I know you can get this award." And then your mentor is speaking for you. By the time your mentor is speaking for you, someone interested in you based on what your mentor has said about you is advocating for you, and the person is your sponsor, because they've seen that you are already ready, you have the excellent spirit, then you have the leadership presence, someone is talking about you in leadership position, and then there is this very great skill of you that is unmatchable. Okay. So those are your very, very key skills of making that relationship work. So you don't want to go and bore your mentor. You don't want to prove yourself that you don't know what you're doing. You want to show that excellency. You want to show that you are reliable when they give you tasks. You want to be able to keep the conversation going. Because you can't have a mentor and you do a structured mentorship for maybe 6 months, someone that can guide you, someone that can watch your back, someone that can hold you accountable. And in the next 2 months, you are not even following up again. Your mentor will not be following you up. You will follow up your mentor. You need to be able to follow them up. Okay. And that is one of those key things. So the act of asking, we mentioned it, you ask for feedback, ask for introduction, you are interested in learning more about maybe AI strategy, you'll be willing to, if your mentor will be willing to introduce you to maybe the head of AI team, they want you to say what you want, right? And then they can buttress those things, because your mentor will not just sit down and be thinking for you. You need to be able to place what you want and say it, and then follow up with those relationship conversation. Okay. And then they are very happy to lead you through those conversations. All right. And then lastly, it's supposed to be a mutual value. That is, when it is is it symbiotic now, very collaborative. They are able to see the value that you're also bringing up to the table. It's not, they're seeing the insights, the growth inside of you. Like my mentor would tell me that, you're going to I need you to do, you're going to do a presentation for maybe the PMO team for the whole organization. And I'm telling my mentor that, oh, yes, I'm not ready now, maybe in the next 1 month. And she's telling me that, yes, you take your time, but I know you are ready when you want to be ready. You understand? And then I said, oh, this person even have this confidence in me because she had seen what I can do. And then that is how your mentor starts showing you out there, because if she wants to present you to people that can sponsor you, your mentor will be the one to present you out to people that can sponsor you. And that is the beginning of your career acceleration at your workplace. Okay. Yeah, let's go to I think we have one more slide to go and then we'll be ready. So taking action. Yeah. So now, your personal relationship roadmap. Number one, I mentioned it that every one of us, we need to move from theory to action. We need to, I'm seeing that, okay, my network is a little bit cracking up, but yeah. If you can hear me, please, can you put a thumbs up, please? Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. So taking action, we've understood who is, thank you so much. We've understood who our mentors is, who the sponsors are. Thank you, Sarah. So in your workplace, I need you to go back and identify a mentor. Okay, for your career growth. You need it, especially for us Black women. We need it. So identify your mentor and strategically position yourself, and then ensure that the relationship conversation is very, very key and authentic, right? And you're available for those conversations. Not that you come today this month and in the next 3 months, that is when you want to structure a very good proposal for you can structure. Oh, you want our conversation to be maybe once in a month or twice in a month. My mentor, we do conversation once in a month, but most times I can always reach out to her if I have any concern and then I want to reach out. So she's more like a guardian and a sponsor for me now, the way I'm seeing some things that she's been doing. So for us as Black women in tech or in any career we find ourselves, you want to have the right strategic mentor, someone that that you love what they are doing, you want to work their part, you want to learn from their experience. So you want your networking to be very, very strategic, especially that it's not that maybe if you leave today, nobody is going to remember you. Okay, yeah. I'd start between the imposters enough for not being ready yet. Okay, yeah. I would, most of us, that is, I mentioned about humility. Thank you for that question. Don't let anybody talk you down to say you are humble or you need to be humble or you need to just keep quiet or you need to bow your heads down anywhere. No, I keep telling people it's always good for you to put yourself out there. Trust me, if you start putting yourself out there, that confidence will come inside of you. That key awareness that, oh, I can do better than what I'm doing, this is who I am, will come inside of you and you want to do excellently well. Okay, you don't want anybody to talk you down to say, are you the only person? In fact, I need to tell you, when you have people saying, are you the only person, you need to run away from such group of people, because they are going to make you feel so down, feel so low, and then they are going to water down your confidence, and you don't actually need it. I mentioned that the career we have as women, is more of a competitive kind of career, because you have a lot of people competing with what you're doing, and that is a career space where we have a lot of men there. And where you are as a woman, you want to be able to stand tall. You want, whereby when you leave today, nobody is going, someone is going to remember you, not for, oh, she was once a part of our team, but they want to remember you that, oh, when this person was here, these are the things this person can do. Oh, we missed her. Oh, wow. Yeah, especially from those sort of people. Yeah, when you have someone, maybe your teammate or your friend, to say, oh, you can do it, even when within yourself you cannot do it, but that word that someone is believing in you, you don't want to put yourself down, you would actually do it. And trust me, most of the time that we think that we cannot do something, we end up doing it. And by the time we do it, it might not count again. So you want to take the action at the right time. You need that action to be taken at the right time. And you want to ask, what can I do? You want to ask your mentor, strategic one, very strategic. You are looking at, you've been in this workplace for 2, 3 years, you are not moving, you are still in that same position. But you want to, during your mentorship with your mentor, and you're asking the question, I just get my voice said, okay. All right, I will answer that question. This your mentor will help you to understand the bigger picture. They will guide you organizational politics. They will help you to time, oh, promotion is around this time, or when you continue doing this, you would get promoted if you want to go in this line of career. There is a leadership position coming up. By the way you're doing, yes, you are doing well. How decisions are really made. I remember one thing my mentor told me one day. She was like, okay, now we've done this. I need you to be visible in this particular line. And then I was asking, oh, this is not my line. He said, yes, it's not your line, but it could be like a volunteer thing that you're doing. I need you to be visible in that line. So how do I do it? And then she told me, oh, you're going to write maybe one article. I don't even like writing um things within my workplace. I said I don't even know really how to do that, like writing article or something that it's within the workplace. I do write article. I'm a researcher. I do research on AI and other things, but like within workplace, what am I writing about? Is, oh yeah, that there is a team. They do something around sustainability and all that, and I can write something on the NHS 10 years plan. And I was like, oh, how do I do it? She just told me that I should go through the internet, read about it, and write an article. And then I can speak to XYZ person. And that was how I wrote the article. She checked it and then she mentioned my name to that team. And they were very happy to say, oh, yes, she can join us. And then I joined them as a member. I started contributing. Before you know it, there was a position for a co-chair. And because of what I've been doing, I didn't even apply for it. Then the recommendation comes and I grabbed it. Now, those are the things that you can attach to your CV. Those are the things that can propel you to your career. So take action. There is timing for everything. If it is the right time for you to push, your mentor will tell you, and then your sponsor will locate you. So someone is saying, I work in a male dominated team and I struggle to get my voice heard. So this is very, very common. And that is why I mentioned that most of us, we work in a male dominated team, but something would distinct you, what you are doing. So number one, I used to tell people that master your skills, your craft very well. Don't be a push aside. When you are in a team that all the teams, you have male dominated, there's this charisma that we carry as women that they tend to always look at us as if maybe we are the soft part of it. We cannot do this. We are, trying to look down on you. But I used to tell myself, I refuse to be, I refused anybody that would want to keep my voice quiet. No. And that is why most of the time I mentioned that if you're in a team and you need to do presentation, you need to take the part of that presentation. Let everybody do it, and they're looking for who can speak. Yes, I can speak. Even if I cannot speak well, I want to speak. I want to let me make that mistake, and then I will get better and better and every time. So you want to be able to do things that they are not doing. You want to bring in ideas when you are in rooms or conferences that stakeholders are there. You want to bring those ideas out. You want it to be like when they are talking, they're asking, oh, this is the only female in this team. Oh, she has done this, she has done that. So, that's the right time for you to speak out. That's the right time for you to do things. And then I always appreciate people that you do far beyond what your team members are doing. You can look at within your team or your organization and see some volunteering things that you can do, because it counts more. Apart from what you are doing as a work, you are still lending another help outside, which is very key. I think Mary mentioned that when is the right time to seek a mentor after joining a new organization? How long should you have worked there? For me, immediately you join an organization, give yourself, you are trying to do your onboarding and everything. Within the first 3 months where you are doing when they are onboarding you, you are attending meetings, you are learning how things are being done. You start hiring one person. The next 3 months, you've already, you start knowing people within the organization, within your team, and you are seeing someone that you are happy with, someone that you want to walk their path. Trust me, have those names down and then start planning on how to reach out to them. Okay, so don't waste your time to say, oh, I need to be 1 year before I get a mentor. No, don't. Okay, thank you very much. And then we look at crafting your story. Who are you? Those are the questions that I mentioned that they want to see. That who are you? People want to know who you are as a person. They want to be able to recognize you instead of saying I'm a developer or I'm a back-end engineer. You want to say, oh, I'm a back-end engineer. I specialize in scalable systems for high growth product. You want to talk about who you are and what your skill set can do. Okay. So those are the things that you can do to craft your stories when you're speaking to your mentor, or maybe your sponsor mentioned your name and then they needed to talk to you and all that. And then what impact do you create? So people want to see those impacts. You want to talk about your results. You want to say, oh, I was the one that led on the deployment or the integration or the migration of something from 30% to so X, Y, and Z figure. You want your impact to speak louder. So for some of us, we already have everything, but we don't know how to talk. We don't know how to show ourselves out there. You want to represent your team and then you're just mentioning, oh, I'm the data analyst here, or I'm the data analyst, I worked on X, Y, and Z project. I was able to do this. So today I'm going to be running us through this project topic or this data where we're going to analyze 1, 2, 3. So someone at the back of his or her mind already know that, oh, this is who you are and these are the things that you have done in a nutshell. Okay. How to document on the resume and all the leadership PM tasks asked by the sponsor when the position is not related to leadership PM. How to document on. Okay, I'll come to that. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. So, oh, okay. How to sell yourself. Okay, right. Yeah. So we need to be able to do that. Then what do you need? Be specific. Okay. I'm looking for opportunities to lead maybe a large cross-functional team, that gives something very, very actionable. You understand? Because you are very specific. So I tell you, my mentor will tell me anywhere you are that you are speaking, maybe try and be able to sell yourself first. Let people know who you are. Oh, during maybe a team discussion and they're asking you, oh, can you take up the next or can we meet everybody maybe in a meeting and they are introducing everybody? You just don't go there and mention your name your name is XYZ. You want to mention your name and your impact briefly, because it sticks on everybody within that team. And someone will come back to say, oh, during the meeting you said you are working within the that team. Oh, please, we have this concern, are you happy for us to? And that is where they start knowing you, even people that don't know you. The organization can be very big. I work in a very big organization and my mentor has really helped me a lot, that she had been positioning me to right places and right conversations that people have already started knowing who I am. Okay. So you want to overcome internal barriers, that is imposter syndrome, fear of rejection, limited access, and all that. You are not asking for favor, okay? You are offering value. So what you can do will offer value. You are thinking that, oh, you are not ready yet, or you don't have all these skills. Trust me, readiness is just a feeling. Everybody has that feeling. It's most of the time you just feel like, oh, I'm not ready. But let me tell you, when you make up your decision, your mind, you decide that yes, I want to do this because I know I can do this. Trust me, you will do it. Most of the high performing Black women, most of the time, they often over prepared before stepping forward. They will say, oh, I need to be this, I need to that, I need to have that certification. Meanwhile, most people step forward within, let me say, like 60% confidence. Most of the things I do today, I step forward because I know I can do it. And then I have people out there that are supporting me. And that is why I mentioned that when you have a group of people that are always telling you down, please run away from them. They are not, they won't help your career growth. Even if they're at work, or maybe some of your friends, you need to watch your circle of friends, your relationship. And lastly, most of us will look at fear of rejection. That what if I walk up to this person and the person says no? And that is why I mentioned the way to build up your relationship, to have a mentor. Try and first of all appreciate people. People like to be appreciated. If someone is coming to walk up to me to say, I need you to mentor me, you can't just come from the blues and ask me to mentor you. Do we have any relationship together? So how do you build those relationships even when we're not talking? When you see opportunities, appreciate them for those little things, and then before you know it, that conversation will stir up. Okay, every powerful leader, um okay, um can you hear me now? Oh, okay, thank you. I think it's the network, sorry. Okay, thank you very much. So no is just a word. Someone is telling you no. Oh, sorry, I cannot mentor you. I don't have the time. It's just a data. I use it. Someone says no or yes, it's a data. It's not a defeat. So if the person says no, people have walked in the line of saying no. So does not mean that you will not get the right person. Maybe that person is not fit for you or is not meant for you because you've actually done the right thing. So you need to be able to continue to have that mind of confidence to say, yes, I can do it. And then I will look for someone else. And then this is how I'm going to propel myself. And I'm committed to this. Commitment is the key. Then limited access. So sometimes the barrier is real, and you may not have that proximity to power or to influence or to people that can advocate for you. But where there is intentional visibility, it really really matters, because there will be volunteer for visible projects. They will see you that you're always available, and then you can do it. You are present in meetings. Not that you're in a meeting. Some of us were in a meeting and they will tell you to talk in the meeting, and then you mute, or you won't put on your camera because you are shy, you don't want people to see your face. Let people see your beautiful face, and then talk confidently that this is what you have done. Present it, let them give feedback about it, and then you are able to take those feedback and get into the right action. Okay, and most of the time, not waiting for when you have conversation or meeting agendas with your mentor. Sometimes you can just do a chat, or maybe end of the month, like what I do. End of the month, I just send, before the end of the month, I just send a message to say, oh, has just checking up on you, because I know in a week's time we're going to talk. Just checking on how has been your month, how has been your work, and all that. Hope it's not too stressful and all that. Okay, we'll catch up soon. Just to know that you are not only about taking a loan, you also value the person. You're also giving the person a good sense of humor to say yes, you appreciate them. Okay, so, and they know that you are offering value when those conversations are taking place. So the next slide, please. So the final thought, that is the food for thought, I said, stop waiting to be noticed, start building power. Please start building power, not only within your team, even outside of your team, volunteering outside of your team, joining organizations like the Black Women in Tech. You know, these are organizations that would give you that confidence, just like this masterclass that we're having. You will learn a lot. It will give your skills a lot of morals, confidence, be able to speak up in places where you feel that you cannot even speak up before. Be intentional in your workplace. Identify your mentor. You need to identify your mentor. Okay, someone is asking, "Fine, as a black woman, should we be looking for black mentors?" My mentor is not a black. Yeah, so I've mentioned the fact that we're not using colors, so it's all about who are you looking up to. So whosoever it is, pick that person, whether the person is a black or the person is not a black. Just you know pick that person. Okay, be intentional about your mentorship, your mentee program. Be intentional about it. Be visible and be bold. Okay. I said, who will be willing to mentor you? Yes, of course. You would really be surprised. In fact, most of them like to mentor. They like to mentor, but you just need to speak up. So, waiting is not a strategy. You're that you're waiting, oh, let me wait till when I'm 1 year or 2 years. No, you are shooting yourself in the leg. So you need to be very intentional about it. And visibility is very, very intentional. You want to show yourself out there. So you need to be intentional about the things you are doing. Because for someone to be able to advocate for you, they are putting a lot of things in line to advocate for you. So you need to be able to be intentional about your own visibility, and building power, building confidence, and right skills. So the final thought is your growth in tech is not just about hard skills, it's about strategic relationship that unlocks rooms, opportunities, and leadership. So you need to go for it. So we're rounding up. We've even rounded up. And my final message is for us all to be strategic in our relationship with people. Know what you want and know what value that you want to offer and what you want to gain from those relationships, especially in your career, because these are relationships that will unlock those rooms for you. Okay. And if you know that you have a relationship that is already affecting your growth at work, please cut off those relationships, because they are not going to help you. Okay. For those that doesn't have a mentor, please look within your workplaces and have a mentor and get yourself one. You need it. Those mentors would speak for you, and then it will attract sponsors for you. And that is how you are going to get a sponsor. Okay. And the right relationship is not all about having someone to converse alone with. No, you have someone that can guide you, propel you to see the bigger picture of what you can offer, of what you have. You find out that you have a lot of things to offer and a lot of things that you have, but you're not just going it in the right way. Okay. And lastly, we have a poll question to take. And the poll question is, after today, what will you prioritize? Is it finding a mentor, seeking a sponsor, or improving your visibility, or clarifying your leadership story? So what do you want to prioritize? Okay. Oh, so people are seeking a sponsor, improving their business, clarifying their leadership story. So everybody has a mentor. Is that what we're saying? Okay. So that means if you have, oh, some people are saying they're finding a mentor. Okay. Right. Okay. I love this this poll. Okay. Uh okay. Right. Thank you. So finding a mentor, please, you guys, we need to find a mentor. And trust me, and you will get a sponsor. And also, please improve your visibility and clarify your leadership story. We are all leaders, and we need to clarify those stories and make it visible out there. Thank you very much.